So this week we're going to be covering the DB Cooper hijacking, a case that has stumped the FBI and investigators for over 50 years. What do you know about the case?
DB Cooper. I don't know anything.
You don't know anything? Nothing?
No.
You haven't heard of this one, really?
I've heard the name DB Cooper.
A funny little man falling from the sky? Haven't heard about this?
Nope.
No? Well, you're about to learn. Let's get into it. On November 24th, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving, in Portland, Oregon, a man going by the name Dan Cooper bought a $20 one-way flight ticket on Northwest Orient Airline to Seattle, Washington. Cooper was described as being in his mid-40s, with a business suit, black overcoat, brown shoes, and a black tie. He was also holding a black briefcase. Cooper sat in the back row of the plane, and the flight took off around 3 p.m. Stewardess Florence Schaffner took his drink order, a bourbon and soda. Shortly afterwards, Cooper hands Schaffner a note in an envelope. She takes it without reading it because she thinks he's just flirting with her. But Cooper tells her to read the note because he has a bomb. She reads the note, which tells her to sit next to him. When she sits down, he opens his briefcase, revealing an array of wires and 8 red-colored sticks. He tells her to write down his demands on a piece of paper and take them to the pilot. Quote, "I want $200,000 by 5 p.m. in cash. Put it in a knapsack. I want 2 back parachutes and 2 front parachutes. When we land, I want a fuel truck ready to refuel. No funny stuff or I'll do the job." End quote.
That is really cool.
Baller ass dude. I'll do the job.
That is fucking sick.
I like how he just says that. No funny stuff or I'll do the... That's like such like an old man saying.
I'll kill everyone on this plane and myself.
Yeah, it's such an old man saying.
That's
no funny stuff.
Yeah.
No funny stuff. The pilot is informed along with the control tower and FBI. While Cooper's demands are being met, he remains calm, drinking his bourbon and smoking cigarettes. Schaffner would even comment about Cooper being kind of nice. This guy, he's about to blow up the plane, but he's pretty cool. He's actually pretty cool.
He's just a professional.
And I will say, an array of wires and 8 red-colored sticks. It's probably just.
I don't get the sticks.
I think they were just probably like.
That's supposed to be shrapnel.
No, it's just like he
Death
probably
by
just
splinter.
took those like the piping, like you can buy PVC piping like at Home Depot or something.
Yeah.
He probably just went to like his local store, brought some PVC piping, painted it red.
You are an expert at all things Home Depot, right, Caleb?
I am. Home Depot
This man
right
taught
here.
me how to make a bomb from Home Depot supplies.
I know I didn't.
He taught me how to, and
anyways, moving on.
One of our past videos was about the Unabomber. I'd be nervous about this guy. Just saying, YouTube.
That's funny. The plane lands in Seattle, and the 36 passengers, along with 2 flight attendants, are exchanged for the $200,000 in a knapsack, which weighed about 23 pounds. The money was all in $20 bills because Cooper didn't specify the denomination of the money.
I mean, what year is this?
1971. $200,000 is only worth $1.5 million today. Which is still a lot of money, but like for going through that much
to live off of, dude, yeah.
For that much, I would want a lot more. The only people other than Cooper on the plane are 3 pilots and 1 flight attendant, Tina Mucklow. Due to complications, it takes over 2 hours to refuel the plane, and during this time, Cooper told Tina, quote, "Let's get the show on the road," end quote. After refueling, they take off a little after 7 p.m. Cooper requested the plane fly at 10,000 feet, max speed of 200 miles per hour, with the landing gear down and flaps lowered to 15 degrees. He requested to be taken to Mexico City, but didn't specify any certain flight path. During the flight, 2 Air Force jets followed behind the plane but couldn't maintain such a low speed and were forced to circle around the plane. A little before 8, Cooper tells Tina to stay at the front of the plane with the pilots. Shortly afterwards, Cooper opens the rear door of the plane and jumps out into the night sky, never to be seen again.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
I know.
How high up were they?
What did I say, 10,000 feet?
That is high as fuck.
That is. When the plane was intensely searched by the FBI, there were only a few pieces of evidence found, 2 of which were a JCPenney clip-on tie Cooper was wearing.
He's broke as fuck. That's why wearing a clip-on tie.
He's got his bourbon, he's got his soda, and then he just has a fucking clip-on tie. and 2 of the 4 parachutes. The FBI quickly launched an investigation nicknamed NORJAC, standing for Northwest Hijacking. With the 2 stewardesses and other people having spent an extensive amount of time with Cooper, they had a good description of him. They said Cooper was in his mid-40s, 5'9" to 6 feet tall, 180 to 190 pounds, dark hair, and brown eyes. With all the details, the FBI were able to create a composite sketch.
I mean, he's kind of ugly.
Unfortunately, with all the crew having been in the front of the plane, nobody knew exactly when Cooper had jumped out, and nothing would come from the FBI's investigation. In 1980, 9 years after the hijacking, a young boy was walking down the Columbia River and found a small rotting package on Tina Bar. When he looked inside, he found 3 stacks of money held together by rubber bands. The FBI were called, and when they investigated the money, it matched the serial numbers of Cooper's ransom money. In total, there was $5,800. This discovery led many people to believe that Cooper had lost the money and it had floated down the Washougal River and washed up on Tina Bar. The problem is that in 1974, almost 3 years after the Cooper hijacking, sediment was dumped on Tina Bar in a dredging operation. Also in the 2000s, a group tested the specific brand of rubber bands that was used to hold the money together. Shockingly, it was found that they couldn't withstand the outdoor elements for more than a year. These 2 key pieces of information have led people to believe that the money was placed on Tina Bar many years after the hijacking. But who did it and why is the question. The FBI scoured surrounding beaches and areas but found nothing, and once again the investigation led nowhere. What do you think about the money washing up there?
Honestly, I would have thought that he just landed in like the river and drowned, or landed in a body of water and couldn't get out.
The fact is,
but the rubber bands, yeah.
Well, nobody, it's not confirmed that he was placed there because nobody knows exactly where it was placed, and the areas that the sediment was placed was a specific area. But the rubber bands kind of make it seem like, it was placed there many years after. With all of this established, let's look into the suspects and theories. Let's start with the theory that D.B. Cooper didn't survive the jump. This is the belief of FBI agent Larry Carr, and his words best summarize the theory. Quote, "We originally thought Cooper was an experienced jumper, perhaps even a paratrooper. We concluded after a few years this was simply not true. No experienced parachutist would have jumped out in the pitch-black night, in the rain, with the 200-mile-per-hour wind in his face, wearing loafers and a trench coat. It was simply too risky. He also missed that his reserve chute was only used for training and had been sewn shut, something a skilled skydiver would have checked." End quote. The night that D.B. Cooper jumped from the plane was a stormy night. Winds would have been as high as 200 miles per hour, and Cooper would have little visibility of the ground because there was a cloud cover a few thousand feet above the ground. As mentioned earlier, Cooper was given 4 parachutes.
Why'd he ask for 4 parachutes?
Well, that's what I thought, and the reason they concluded is that they thought because they thought he was going to take a hostage with him. So because if he only because they were originally
out of the plane.
No, they were originally planning on sabotaging the parachute so he would fall to his death, but then they were like, well, if he takes a hostage, we could be killing someone.
He's
so
smart.
Actually pretty smart.
That's
pretty
smart as fuck.
Smart. As mentioned earlier, Cooper was given 4 parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve. The 2 primary chutes were a luxury civilian chute, and the other was an older non-steerable military chute. Cooper took the military chute, and of the 2 reserve chutes, Cooper took the dummy chute rather than the one that worked. However, this decision can be looked at in a different light. Cooper may have taken the military chute because he was part of the military in the past and had more experience with military chutes. As for the reserve chutes, Cooper could have used the dummy chute to carry his money. This is exactly what he tried to do with the working reserve chute. He took out the cords and tried to tie them to secure the money without any success. Now let's say Cooper survived the jump. He would have had to make his way through the forest in the middle of November in loafers and a trench coat, which would have been a difficult task. But this theory loses credit considering that no body or evidence was ever found on the ground, and there was never a missing persons report of anyone matching Cooper's description after the jump.
So we only jump at 1,000 feet, and it's a static line. So it has to be hooked onto an anchor line cable to even deploy. And I really don't know how advanced their free fall chutes were in 1971.
Yeah, it's not even 1971. It's old. It would be an older parachute.
Yeah, he'd be like fucking special forces modern day to do a free fall jump.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, that's super unlikely.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he died.
But I don't really know much about like, I don't know a ton about parachutes, but I do know that paratroopers do not free fall from 10,000 feet.
So let's say Cooper did survive the jump and dive into the suspects. Our first suspect is Richard Floyd McCoy. Richard Floyd McCoy was one of the favorite suspects of the FBI. In 1972, he hijacked a plane, and his hijacking shares many similarities with the Cooper hijacking. They both hijacked and parachuted from the back of a Boeing 727. Both used a fake name, used fake explosives, used handwritten notes for their demands, demanded 4 parachutes, and both used the phrase, "no funny stuff." Before this hijacking, McCoy served in the Vietnam War as a demolitions expert and helicopter pilot. But the differences with the McCoy hijacking are that he requested a specific flight path, he had an unloaded handgun, and he did not retrieve the note which he gave the flight attendant, unlike Cooper. But most of all, McCoy would have been 29 years old and in college during the Cooper hijacking, and all 3 flight attendants agreed that McCoy did not look like Cooper. McCoy would survive his hijacking, but was soon caught and arrested. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison. While McCoy was in prison, he did not confirm or deny being Cooper. He would escape in 1974 and died 3 months later in a shootout with the FBI in Virginia. While there are many similarities between the McCoy and Cooper hijacking, this may have just been an attempt to copy D.B. Cooper. So pretty much the only reason they think it's him is because he copied Cooper, but there's nothing else.
I mean, if the timeline doesn't match up, then
yeah, and he's not the only person who tried to copy Cooper. There have been many other people.
yeah,
But Cooper's like the only one who got away with it.
Cooper is what every man wants to do in this life.
No, jump out of a plane at 10,000 feet.
Fucking badass. Yeah,
But yeah, I gotta send you this guy too. I think he looks similar, but if the flight attendants who actually saw Cooper say
he
it's
looks
not
similar.
him. Our second suspect is Dwayne Weber. In 1995, when Dwayne was on his deathbed, he pulled his wife, Jo Weber, close and said, quote, "I have a secret to tell you. I'm Dan Cooper," end quote. This news made Jo realize many details about her husband that connected him to Cooper. She claims Dwayne had a knee injury after jumping out of a plane. I think it's interesting how she was like, she said that Dwayne had a knee injury out of jumping out of a plane, but she didn't clarify anything else about it.
Yeah, it was really vague.
Yeah, it's like if I started walking with a limp and you were like, "Caleb, what happened?" And I was like, "Oh, I jumped out of a plane and got a knee injury," and you were just like, "Oh, okay." And you just left it at that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like when you ask a few
Why
more
didn't
details.
I fucking think of that? I'm so stupid. I'm sorry.
Sometimes he spoke in his sleep about leaving fingerprints on a plane, and in 1979, Dwayne took Jo to Tina Bar, where the money was found almost a year later. Other details that implicate Dwayne is that he fought in World War II, had a criminal background, he matched the physical description, and was 47 years old in 1971. But this theory mostly relies on the reports from Jo Weber and not any actual evidence. It should also be noted that thousands of other people have claimed to be Cooper or have claimed that a family member was Cooper. If all that is true, then yeah, probably, especially the whole taking her to Tina Bar on 1979. But again, we're just relying on somebody who's talking about their dead husband.
Hair's too curly.
Our next suspect, we're actually bringing in a little some of our friends from the Zodiac Killer video.
Oh,
you like these guys. I remember you like these guys. Our third suspect is Robert Rackshaw. Rackshaw was an Army paratrooper and helicopter pilot in the past. He had a long criminal record, had an uncle named John Cooper who was a skydiver, and he was discharged from the Army a few months before the Cooper hijacking. When asked by reporters, Rackshaw did not confirm or deny being D.B. Cooper. But Rackshaw had different colored eyes and was only 28 years old during the Cooper hijacking. Strangely, the CaseBreakers, a non-profit group that works to solve unsolved criminal cases, claim that Rackshaw is D.B. Cooper and that the FBI knows this but won't say it for whatever reason. In 2018, the CaseBreakers even held a press conference in front of FBI headquarters and declared that the case was closed.
got him. Good shit, CaseBreakers.
God, dude.
They are on a roll.
Yeah, it's not this fucking guy. The only
should we call our YouTube channel the CaseBreakers? As a joke?
We should call it the Case Fakers.
No, we should.
Yeah, I like how, again, remember the Zodiac killer? They said the FBI knew who it was, the Zodiac killer
Yeah,
was, and they wouldn't say it, and they're just doing it again.
yeah. That's their fallback.
Yeah. That's their fault.
We're right. They just won't fucking tell us we're right.
They're so goofy. But the only evidence implicating him is that he was in the military and had a criminal record. And I'm
That's
pretty sure
everyone
that's
in the
like, yeah,
military.
yeah, like what the fuck? I think the
That's
CaseBreakers, I think the
Every
CaseBreakers just
person
pick
I
out.
talk to has a criminal record.
I think the CaseBreakers just pick out the worst suspect and say, "Yep, it's that guy." I'm not trying to hate on the CaseBreakers, but
I am.
I am.
What are they gonna do? They're like 90.
I like how they held a press conference in front of FBI headquarters. It
Yeah,
was
I wanna
just,
see a photo of
I
that
saw a
fucking
photo.
press conference.
I'll find
Do you
it.
have one?
So here's their I just sent you the photo of their press.
What a fucking joke. Who are these fucking idiots standing behind the dude? Are these the CaseBreakers?
Yeah, and then
There's
that's all the
4 of 'em?
reporters. Yes. We should try to get the CaseBreakers on this channel as a guest.
Should we go to their nursing home and interview them?
Oh my god, dude. All right, but I'm glad that they solved it. I'm glad they solved it.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for them.
Our fourth and final suspect is Ted Braden. Ted Braden was an experienced skydiver and war veteran. During the 60s, he competed in many skydiving competitions while he was in the Army. During the Vietnam War, Braden was a team leader of a MAC-V SOG unit.
And
That is fucking awesome.
during the war, the whole thing was classified. Like the U.S. didn't even say that MAC-V was a thing.
Dude, that is awesome.
And so all the if the FBI had any files about this guy during the time,
They wouldn't release them.
they wouldn't release it because it was still classified. I'm pretty sure that's what they were in Call of Duty, actually. Old Woods
Really?
and Mason, yeah.
Dude,
I want to be Woods so bad, bro.
Dude, they're so awesome. They're why I joined the Army, and what a fucking disappointment. Call of Duty lied to me.
Braden was always looking for ways to use his expertise to make money, so much so that in 1967 he went AWOL from the Vietnam War and went to the Congo to work as a mercenary after hearing about how much money they made.
Dude, I don't get Vietnam War vets because the photos you see of them shirtless, they look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they look terrible. But
Yeah.
these guys were studs. I don't understand it.
He was soon found and arrested but was given an honorable discharge from the military but couldn't re-enlist. Soon after this, he would attempt to leave the country to become a mercenary but found that he was blacklisted by the CIA and went on to become a truck driver. Braden's military colleagues described him as one of the calmest people ever while being under fire. A Green Beret who served with Braden said, quote, "Braden is among those professionals who appear to have a secret death wish coupled with well-trained instincts for survival. He continually placed himself in unnecessary danger but always managed to get away with it." End quote. Interestingly, Braden's whereabouts during the Cooper hijacking cannot be confirmed, but problems with Braden is that he is a little too short, only being 5'8", but that height difference isn't that different from Cooper. Braden also had light-colored eyes while Cooper had brown eyes.
I don't know. There's a lot more about this
They're
guy,
just built different.
but I could not include all of it. And it would have just been me ranting about how awesome he was. But yeah, there's a
just
lot.
fanboying over
I
him.
was literally kind of just fanboy. Like I wasn't even like looking at things about him just to like.
I want
see
to
him
do a
as a
video
suspect.
just on him.
Yeah. Just some random ass video about him. Yeah, this guy, best suspect I've
But
seen.
yeah, that I think this guy makes the most sense. And it makes like he definitely was just in it for the thrill. You know, because
Yeah.
his Green Beret friend was like he kind of has a death wish.
Yeah. This
So
guy,
he was like, I'm gonna steal 200,000 from the government that blacklisted me and jump out of a plane.
dude. This is a fun one because nobody died,
Yeah,
nobody
this-
got hurt. It's not like this guy's a
Yeah,
piece of
you
shit
can't
for
be
stealing
mad
money.
at him.
This guy was
You can't
awesome,
be mad
bro.
at him.
This
The
guy,
bomb wasn't real.
Yeah, the bomb. We can't even confirm the bomb was real.